Yep. Again, welcome in the ring, guys. Welcome to each and every one of you. We hope that you guys have had a great day, whether you're joining us on Facebook, you're joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on YouTube. Welcome to each and every one of you. And it's Talk Back Thursday, which means I want to hear from you. So, WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. And as soon as I see you guys pop up, I'm going to bring you on and you're going to give me whatever your thoughts are on whatever issue. And as I always say, you do not have to agree with me. You do not have to agree with me. I don't care if you're WPA, if you're PPP, you're TUF, you're AFC, you're PNC, you're APNO. I want to hear from you guys. Tonight, it's about you and your views. It's Talk Back Thursday. 627-6963. WhatsApp yes to that number, and I'm going to send you guys the string. Thanks to all of you guys who are joining me. I'm going to be sharing the live stream a couple places. We got to pay the price of admissions, and as you guys know, we got to share that live stream. We got to share. I get in old. Sometimes I forget to turn on the song and all kinds of worries. Thanks, guys, for keeping me sharp. Thanks for keeping me sharp. You see, I'm wearing an earpiece these days to help us with the feedback. We want a crisp production. So, guys, as I said, I'm sharing the live stream a couple places. And as soon as we get that out of the way, I'm going to be back with you guys. So, guys, get ready. Share this live stream. Share this live stream. I'm going to share it a couple places. As per normal, you know how we do things here. Don't pretend you all don't know. You know how we do things here. We wait until we get to our magic number, and then we beat out. All right, so the phone working a little slow tonight. You guys bear with me. I hope you guys' phone probably working faster. One hopes. I really want to hear from you guys tonight. I really want to hear from you guys. So saddle up, get yourself set, drink your porridge, your coffee, whatever it is, and let's get cracking, guys. Let's get cracking. All right, so I got to share a couple places. I'm so glad that you guys can join us. All right, so I'm sharing, guys. I'm sharing. Sharing to Facebook. All right. Oh, my Lord. It's only when in a hurry, all kinds of challenges step in your way. All kinds of challenges. All right. I can't seem to get to pace. Good to see each and every one of you. Hope you guys have had a good day at home, at work. I know some of you guys watching that status and the topics we're going to be discussing. Gear yourselves up again. You just have to WhatsApp yes to 627-6963, and I'm going to send you the link to come in. I'm not going to ask you your party card. I'm not going to ask you who you vote for or anything like that. But I want to hear your views. So, you know, the trenches don't have to stay in the comment section this evening. You can step in the ring, folks, and have a go at it. Oh, hear that now. I'm getting some feedback here. You see worries now? All right. So I managed to take care of that. And we're getting set, folks. Oh, we're almost at that magic number. We're almost there. We're almost there and ready to start. Let me just share a couple of other places so that we're good to go. I ain't shared one place yet. That's how the phone's slow this evening. Right? I don't know if it's because the screen crack or what. You understand me? This is the opposition phone. The devil is a liar. Good to see all of you guys there. Good to see all of you guys. Oh my Lord, this is taking all of my energy. Isn't that a song? If not, somebody should write a song. Just little practice this evening is taking all of my energy. Taking all of my energy. Folks, if you enjoy this show and you want to help move it forward, my chair is killing my back these days. It's not the perfect chair to do this show. If you guys want to be a blessing, send me a chair. Oh, Father, good to see all of you. Oh, my God, we're almost at that magic number, guys. Almost there, almost there. Well, you may got send a phone to because this one here is worries. Good to see all of you guys. Guys, how are you doing? Look, we can't take ourselves so serious sometimes, you know. Sometimes we just got to take things a little easy. I don't know if it's because the screen is split or what. Look, guys, if you don't believe it, I'm stuck. I'm stuck there, right? I'm stuck there. I don't know what's happening. The devil is a liar. Good to see all of you guys. Good to see all of you guys. Bear with me. I really need to share a couple places and then we're on our way. I want some of you guys to come step in the ring this evening. And again, when you come in, don't be long-winded. It's not your show. God, some of you got a take over kind of spirit, you know. It's not your show, right? Don't be long-winded. Make your point quickly and let's move things along, right? Some of y'all want to hold long the thing as though it's your show. It's not your show. Folks, a good night to each and every one of you out there. Each and every one. I've seen over 100 comments already. And all right, so let me make another try. This guys, share the live stream for me. Do me that favor. You might never be able to buy me a cell phone or a proper chair to do this program on, but you can share the live. That's free. It doesn't cost you nothing. Share the live stream, guys. All right, let me see if this is gonna work now. All right, all right, good. So a couple other places, and then we got to go. Guys, I encourage you to share the live stream. Don't be stingy. Let's pay the price of admission. All right. I'm almost there, folks. We're almost there. We're almost where we need to go. Almost where we need to go. And I hope some of you are going to say yes again. If you want to step in the ring this evening, just say yes. WhatsApp that. WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. And I'm going to send you the link there. As soon as I finish on this side. All right. Almost there, guys. Guys, I want to see about 200 shares tonight. Nothing less. Right? Nothing less than 200 shares. All right. I finished talk. I don't talk. All right. So I'm sharing a couple of groups now because I want to practice what I'm asking of you guys. You know, we say practice what you preach. So I'm sharing it a couple of places. It's a couple of groups now. All right. And I need one other. And then we're good to go. Share, guys. I see lots of you sharing. I'm so heartened by that. I see lots of you sharing the live stream. I am so heartened by that. So heartened by that. All right. Let me make this easier. One other place I need to go. And then we got to go. All the folks who are joining us in the diaspora, I hope you guys enjoyed our program last evening. We spoke specifically on COVID. We had several persons join us from in the diaspora. We had Dr. Jagdeo Harris, Guyanese, who works in Washington as a general surgeon. We had also Dr. Rohan Sumar, who works in New Jersey. He joined us as well. And we had our very own Dr. Karen Cummins, who joined us also. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm ready to go, and I hope you guys are ready to go as well. Good to see each and every one of you again. Welcome in the ring. It's time to fight, guys. It's time to fight. Oh my God, I did something unforgivable. I said I was gonna let's see. Do we have folks who are 1 second for me? Let me just make sure that we are not leaving anybody out. All right, and all of those folks who told me song early. Okay, well, I heard you guys. Because that's all I'm hearing. All right, so let's see now. We're going to send this a couple places. All right, we're getting. All right, we're getting set, guys. We're getting set. Share the live stream in the meantime. We're getting set. We're getting set, folks. All right, we're getting set. All right, people messaging me all kinds of stuff. They don't message you all day, right? They wait until you're ready to come on, and then they choose they're going to message you all kinds of stuff about the new world order and a whole set of madness. All right, guys. So let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's share the live stream and let's get cracking. Quite a few things to touch on this evening. Again, welcome in the ring. We're fighting this evening, guys. Whether you're joining us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you know what you got to do. Share, share, share. Give us your comments, and we are going to read out some of them. A good evening to Hazel Job and Lizzie Simon, Oren Wellington, Donna Halley, Headley rather, Norma Jones, Diana Fordyce, Hazel Job again, Marlon King, Tessa Isaacs, Graves Zandy, Patricia Sano. All of you guys, a good evening to each and every one of you. We see value in you guys because we know you see value in us as well. That's why you choose to spend this time with us, folks. Let's get cracking. Oh my Lord, let's get cracking. All right, and here we go. Bear with us. In some international news, folks. In some international news, we learned today that Canada has granted permanent residence to 90,000 plus students and foreign workers. 90,000 plus permanent residency to students and workers who helped them to combat COVID, who worked with the government during this very, very critical time to help them to combat, to fight against, to mitigate the ravages of COVID-19 as their way of saying thank you. They are giving out permanent residency like madness in Canada. Right? I'm certain some of you wish you were, residing in Canada at this time to benefit. And one wonders, folks, with this 90,000 students and foreign workers who are being given permanent residency in Canada, if that is responsible for why we have been seeing these long lines suddenly crop up at the passport office. Well, it's either that or perhaps it is the inefficiency returned by the installed illegal PPPC administration. It's either these permanent residencies, attracting you all to the passport office to fly out, to beat out, or it's the catfish government inefficiency in managing that facility there at the passport office that is causing all of this to happen. What does Norma Jones say this evening, and Hazel Job and Marlon King? Is it so? Is it the permanent residency in Canada pulling everybody? And that is why we're seeing these long, long lines? Or, folks, is it the inefficiency of this catfish administration? Well, you can guess. You can make that determination on your own. Folks, we turn our attention to COVID. And as you know, every night, religiously, we talk about COVID on this program, about masking up, about sanitizing, social distancing, and all the other COVID-19 measures that are out there for your safety. We advise you to comply with them. And so we've been tracking what's been happening on the ground locally as concerns COVID-19. And just yesterday, we saw Dr. Carissa Etienne, who is the director of the Pan American Organization, PAHO, who gave a hint that perhaps we have the novel coronavirus variant operating locally. When she said, for instance, that after the introduction of the new variants in the Guyanas, cases have accelerated in French Guiana and Guyana. So Dr. Etienne there is hinting at the COVID variant being on the ground here. And, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy said, in as much in a recent article out of Newsroom, that there is a new COVID variant in Guyana that is very, very more infectious than the COVID that we know, the COVID-19, very, very more potent, and that is really and truly infecting lots of our young people. And that was part of our discussion. So one wonders, perhaps it's the COVID that is on a rampage locally that caused all of these people to be packing up at the passport office. It could be that as well. So we see that Dr. again, Carissa Etienne of the Pan American Organization, the director of the Pan American Organization of PAHO, talking about this this variant locally. The authorities really have not come out and said anything officially, but we are watching their actions, which suggests that something is amiss, ladies and gentlemen. Something is amiss. The actions is what you have to watch. That tells us again that something is happening. And just this evening, for instance, we see that COVID vaccines are being offered from tomorrow to all persons 18 years and above. Again, according to Dr. Ramsamy. Apparently, he's managing COVID now, Frank Tired. So every person ages 18 and up is now going to be offered the COVID vaccines. And again, based on the fact that they were offering just to 40 and up, one gets the sense that something is happening on the ground, and this government needs to come clean and tell our people what is happening. Tell our people it has not been an administration that has been leading by example. It has not. And folks, the COVID numbers for this evening, 153 new confirmed COVID cases. 153, 263 deaths. I think you had one death today or two. 163 new COVID cases, confirmed cases, which brings our total to 11,527 confirmed COVID cases locally. So again, we are heading to that 12,000 mark, folks. We are heading to that 12,000 mark. And, you know, COVID really affecting us here. Really affecting us in a major way. And that is why we see now them ramping up the vaccination. They ain't touching the curfew. They ain't touching the lockdown. But they can try to ramp up vaccination, hopefully trying to head off this surge. Well, I think we've seen this movie before, folks. We have seen this movie before. And again, the COVID cases locally are getting more and more bizarre. More and more bizarre. Folks, if you want to make your contribution, the number is 627-6963. Text yes to that number, and I'm going to send you the link to come on the live stream. Good? I'm going to send you that link for you to come on the live stream. Don't text yes, and then you're not coming on. Don't let's fool around. Serious business here, folks. Serious business. So we told you before of this case where one Wazim Ray Ramjitan would have contracted COVID-19. And Imtiaz Umar also died in the same period. Unfortunately, Imtiaz's body was given to Mr. Ramjitan's family by mistake. And so they buried the wrong person. They buried the wrong person, folks. All right? All kinds of things happening under this catfish administration. And so we told you of that story. Folks, where we go next is even more bizarre. Where we go next is even more bizarre. Even more bizarre. So this is the story of, do I have that? Yes. Of one Miss McCree. One Miss McCree. And similar to Wazim's story, Mr. Ramjitan, Miss McCree went to, allegedly, Woodlands Hospital, where it is said that she received a misdiagnosis for COVID-19. She received a misdiagnosis for COVID-19. Folks, y'all better share this live stream. This is a bizarre story. Y'all think Wazim was a bizarre story, and Umar, Ramjitan and Umar, the wrong family burying the wrong dead? Y'all think that was a bizarre story? Hear Miss McCree's story. So McCree gets a false, according to the family, allegedly, a false COVID result that says she was COVID positive. The family claims that the COVID result is false. Miss McCree says that she was then sent to the COVID center at Liliendal. She was then sent to the COVID center at Liliendal. Yep. And sometime during her stay there, she was going to the bathroom, and by some misfortune, a gas cylinder fell on her toes. A gas cylinder fell on her toes. She said that she was in a dazed state. According to the report that I have, she was in a dazed state. and she signed some document. And when she resumed, I think she fainted. When she resumed consciousness, they had amputated her toes. So from COVID positive to having her toes amputated. According to the report, her husband was called and was told that there was a threatening situation, right, to her life, because the amputation of the toes had some complications, and they needed to amputate her leg, her entire leg. Well, not entire leg, but from her thigh. Can you imagine, from a COVID positive case, and the family is claiming that this is a misdiagnosis from a COVID positive case, you go to having your toes amputated. You go to having your toes amputated, and then your leg. Folks, this is the 21st century we live in. How does a patient go from a misdiagnosis for COVID-19 to having your leg amputated? It is bizarre. It is bizarre. Let me open this up so you guys get a better view of it. How do you go from COVID-19 to having your leg amputated? I just don't understand it. Folks, this is Talk Back Thursday, and I want to hear from you. All you need to do is text yes, WhatsApp yes to 627-6963. I'm going to send you guys that link. Some of you already have it, and I want to hear from you. From COVID-19 positive to having your toes amputated to having your legs amputated. Folks, y'all better share this live stream this evening. You better share this live stream this evening. All right? This is absolute madness, folks. This is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. This is the country that we live in. You'll understand why Donald Trump at one time talked about shithole countries. You understand? Miss McCrae said she got a misdiagnosis from Woodlands Hospital, allegedly. She was sent to the COVID center at Liliendal. Sometime during her stay there, she was going to the bathroom. A gas cylinder fell on her toes, practically saying she was forced to sign a document that she didn't understand what she was signing. They amputated her toes. Complications from that, they end up amputating her leg. Right? And now these are the kind of stories that cause people to say Guyana is not a real place. Guyana is not a real place. Guyana is not a real place. Guys, I really want to hear from you tonight. This evening was set aside for you guys to hear from you. That is what this show is about. We don't care which party you belong to. I don't concern about that. I don't concern about that. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. And if your thoughts are superior to my own, well, then I hope your thoughts move ahead and we can develop this country, because that is the country I want to live in and I want my children to live in. And not having to go to hospital for COVID, right? Misdiagnosis and then your foot cut off. What kind of madness is this, folks? What kind of madness is this? Can you understand that? What kind of mad country we living in? What kind of mad country we living in? You know, I don't want to come across bias, but I ain't hearing nothing like this in 5 years. Under the last administration, you remember the young mother who went to New Amsterdam Hospital to get a baby? Jesus have mercy. Folks, I think I have somebody who's joining us. And let me see who we have. All right, he's not seem to be connected properly. I'm going to wait. The person who has joined me, one Kiana, don't let me say Miss, but Kiana would need to turn on her mic or her camera first. So I have somebody who is in the virtual green room, and we didn't come for style. So just text yes to 627-6963. I'm going to send you that link, folks. Don't waste time tonight. Don't let's waste time tonight. Right? You either come for something or just let's conduct ourselves like big people. So that is the plight of Miss McCrae. That is the plight of Miss McCrae this evening. And her family wants justice. Her family wants justice. That is what they want. And they deserve justice. They deserve justice. All right. All right. Let me see if I have Miss McCrae with us, and then we're going to move. A very good evening. Welcome in the ring. Hello?
Hello?
A very good evening. You're live. Thanks for joining.
Hello?
What is your contribution?
My contribution is that due to the COVID, they're not looking into the COVID. It's very serious. I mean, look at the now they're saying the vaccine for 18 years and over, which they had was for 40 and over. That is my concern. 18,
Yeah, and
right?
that is a clear sign. That is a clear sign that it has gotten away from them. So they can't even stick to their own schedule. They cannot even stick to their own schedule. It has gotten away from them. And you know, a question that has not been answered as yet. Some persons are saying, for instance, if you take the AstraZeneca as your first dose, you're hearing in some places that is finished, and you got to take, for instance, the Pfizer as a second dose. So we're trying to get some information if that might be the right thing to do. I am very, very sorry that I got this question late. And so I wasn't able to put it to my panel last evening, but that is a concern of citizens as well. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Yes, that is a concern of citizens as well. Yes. The concern is that the accidents and that's what you were saying, right? I'm 40, and I'm scared of taking the vaccine. I'm so scared of taking the vaccine because if you would take one vaccine, then they give you a next shot and a different vaccine. What is the effect? No one knows what is
Yeah,
the effect of it.
yeah. Next thing you know, you're 1 foot
Right?
missing.
Exactly, one foot missing,
Sad to
or
say.
your one
Sad
ear
to
is
say.
missing, or you
Yeah,
can't hear. Right? You cannot
yeah,
then know you something wrong, right? Because most of them right now, so they're getting side effect of it, right?
yeah. So,
And that
folks,
is that
listen.
that
Yeah, I'm
that is
just saying
not
to be on the safe side, we gotta wear a mask. We gotta social distance. You gotta sanitize and keep your foot.
yes, of course, and keep your food.
You
Yeah,
understand me?
and
And keep
most
your foot.
yeah, most you means and okay, for example, you go into the supermarket, most you go in cash. Most of them, 6 feet apart, what it is. You see some of them watch you like, like hobos rope, and they'll just want to jump down to you. You don't
Yeah,
understand the social distances, right? So
yeah.
we gotta look into those that aspect also. You
Correct,
understand?
correct.
And I
And that is
mean,
partly because some people think this thing is a joke. And that's why we
right.
did a program last night to really sensitize people that COVID is real. It is not a hoax,
No, it's
right?
not a
Some
hoax.
people think that COVID is a hoax and it's a conspiracy by governments, it's a conspiracy by big pharmaceutical corporation. It is real. It is
Exactly,
real.
it's real. Right, that is
All right then.
that,
Thanks very much
that is my
for coming through.
contribution. Yes.
Thanks very
Thank you very
much.
much, sister.
Great.
Yeah.
Folks, let's
Mhm.
get it move on. Folks, please don't call me now. Right? If you see me on air, why would you be calling me now? I don't understand that. I find it a little bizarre. Right? I find it a little bizarre. Good. So, folks, 627-6963 WhatsApp. WhatsApp. WhatsApp, yes, to 627-6963. And I'm going to send you guys the live stream. I see somebody actually messaging me. SMS message. I mean, is it 21st century? Let me see if I can help them out. Is it 21st century? Thanks very much for coming through, ma'am. All right, guys, let's touch another hot topic. Let's touch another hot topic this evening. Let's touch another hot topic. And y'all better mask up and so on. Y'all see what happening? Y'all see what happening? You understand me? The wrong family might bury y'all. Right? Because some of y'all not taking this thing seriously. The wrong family gonna bury y'all, you end up with 1 foot. You end up with 1 foot. Mr. Fortune, a very good evening. Thanks for coming through.
Good evening, sir. I
Talk
think
to us.
I think definitely Guyana need a complete lockdown generally, meaning
Mm-hmm.
complete, whereby the government calls call this publicly and get the complete lockdown, whereby they can sustain this whole pandemic thing because it's just making bad for education wise, as it is right now, going downhill. What about the kids who have been home for a year and change, who
Yeah.
don't have the access to have the school work going on online? So for me personally, to actually combat this whole disease, we need to close down this country, take a
Mm-hmm.
pause, and
Mr. Fortune, I don't want to assume why you want the close or why you think a close down is warranted. So I'm going to ask you why you think the close down is warranted. The
you need
shutdown,
to, you need
the
you need
lockdown.
you need a lockdown to actually go around a round table now and sit down and think about how you plan on going about this thing because little that we can actually see with our naked eyes that this thing we can't control it. No matter what they're trying to do, they can't control it. The 6 o'clock curfew still can't control it because they're operating like COVID can pass in the day and in the night they can turn on.
Correct.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense. We need a complete lockdown and then we can know how we can manage this thing. Because as we just doing this thing as a normal curfew time, I can still go to the bar with me normal curfew time and before 10 o'clock I got home and I done sharing it.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
a complete
And you know what, Mr. Fortune? It is this administration, sadly, that has to take responsibility for where we are because you remember the Prime Minister came out and said that they would have reduced COVID and they were pretty much putting up a white flag and saying that all is well. Right? These were the folks that were in opposition. They had their own COVID task force. Now you don't even know who on the task force. Right? And then they talked also about soft enforcement. Right? They said they're locking up people and so forth for breaching COVID regulations. Soft enforcement means that if you're on the road after the curfew time, we can tell you to just hurry home. You understand? Because they understood that it was lots of their supporters, the trenches, who are breaking and breaching COVID protocol. Right? The ministers wantonly breaking COVID protocol every religious day. They go and meet with some citizens here and hundreds so and to advance their program. But they don't understand that they are the ones who have been responsible for spreading this COVID-19 like wildfire in this country.
but sad to say that Guyana going downhill. It's a wrong direction we heading into,
Yes.
and the youths are the one, and the vulnerable ones are the ones to be affected by this, because
Yes.
the small man, let me put it as this: the small man can actually handle this whole situation because if they do get COVID, what next? They just got to depend upon the Almighty.
Well, the Almighty I pink slip.
And well,
The
there's another
Almighty I pink slip.
there's another story by itself. But really and truly, the young people have been affected. Um, Mostly, I can talk on behalf of the young ones them because I'm a leader of a youth group and saying the young people them home, giving them the actual time to go and get involved in a lot of drugs, a lot of criminal activities because well, we get spirit time. We can go and sit down with my friends, then we can bust a smoke, we can bust a drink. We never do it before, but you know, the kind of pressure that building up. Then you remember you're not working because COVID.
Yeah.
Then you're not taking part in no youth activities because of COVID. You can't gather up as a team, and it kind of bring up frustration. I don't know if it's truth, but I have read on the internet that somebody suicide themselves, and it's a young person. Majority of the young people that have been affected right now is because of COVID and because of frustration. What do
Uh-huh.
we do as leaders? What do we do as a nation? I think that leaders need to stand up and said we had enough. This is who we calling for, and we want
Yeah.
it now. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
we
Well,
just
well, I guess
and
that is what happened to Citizenship Initiative, that party who we thought had faded away because they burst out a couple of days ago asking for us to go back to the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, among other things. So as we always say here, is only when the shoe start pinching, then people is take things serious.
I won't think the 6 to 6. I think we need a 1 month control of this thing completely. Because
Mm-hmm.
every day you're getting more than 100 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's not saying to the public what is really going on behind closed door or under the
Mm-hmm.
table, so to speak, and generally going downhill. And it just making bad for the economy because they're going out there that Guyana is the place that getting off COVID. So investors and people who want to travel can't come. So
Yeah.
instead we spend one or let me say a year in recuperating and coming back harder and fighting this. Sorry to say we're not fighting, but we're losing this battle with COVID. And the
Yeah.
vulnerable
Well
ones
said.
they want
Well
to
said,
be
Mr.
affected.
Fortune. Yeah. Thanks for coming through. I have Joy who is joining us. Thanks, Mr. Fortune.
Thank you so much.
All right, sir. And good night to Joy. Joy, how are you
Hi,
doing?
I'm okay. Good night.
Tell
Cheryl, you
us.
know what? You know what? The sad part of this whole situation is that nobody is really wanting to, as the caller said, come out and say what's happening. Now, when you have places like the bars open, that is what they did. They opened the bars. Men are gonna go out. You have a problem. Men are gonna go out, or people are gonna go out. They're gonna party and they're gonna stay within the confined time. What is that?
Correct.
That is not supposed
Correct.
to happen. We should not have
Correct.
opened certain places. Certain
Yeah.
places should not have opened. If you're gonna open the bars, why didn't you open the schools full time? It's like it's like it is showing it's somewhere or the other, it's all mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
Why you open the bars and not the schools? Now, if the schools have to close, the bars
Yeah.
have to close, because when you're in a drunken state, you don't know what you do. People do all sorts of things when they're in a drunken state. They go, they
Correct.
hang with their friends and so on. You come home, you may be exposed to COVID, you give your whole family. I don't understand. And the thing with the vaccine, Sharon, I haven't taken my vaccine, because this whole thing to me is like you don't know what to believe. It's like you cannot trust what is coming from the person that you're supposed to be trusting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because of that, I did not take, because now if you're gonna start me with one vaccine, how come that run out and you're gonna give me another? It doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Logically, it doesn't make sense, because the AstraZeneca or whichever vaccine which has a blood clot, or you're at risk
The
of blood
Johnson and
clot, and
Johnson. Yeah.
the Johnson and Johnson. It's like I don't understand. I don't understand. And what we needed to do as a country, the government needed to do, is to edify persons about the vaccine.
Correct. I agree with
All
that. I agree with that.
all that is going is that here, that there's a vaccine, certain ages will be eligible today, tomorrow. Nobody knows what is the vaccine is all about, what's in the
Yeah.
vaccine. Edify us about the risk and about the benefits. I mean, the
Yeah.
benefits may outweigh the risk, but still edify us. We need to know. Don't just have us in the
Correct.
dark
Correct.
and speculating and all of that.
Yeah.
And because the fact that that is what happened, that's why a lot of persons did not go. And no, you're telling me that the vaccine, when you get one dose of something, then you have to get another dose. Persons
Yeah.
are not going to go for that. Persons are
Yeah.
not going to go for that. It's logically, it doesn't make sense. It
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
contradict. You
Yeah.
understand? It's like if you go into the
Yeah.
doctor, they give you something to treat this illness, that done, and because you don't get that, you go on to
Yeah.
something else, which will
And
put.
Joy, that is why we have said this is according to your conscience. As you feel, if you feel based on the information that you have, that you're willing to take it, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I would never say to anybody, don't go and take the COVID vaccine. You understand
Yeah,
me? But
yeah,
I had an opportunity as a parliamentarian a couple of weeks back to go to Parliament and to take it. They were giving it out at Parliament building. But just like you said, there was no briefing for parliamentarians. This is the benefit, the side effects, what have you. All you hear, oh, Monday, go to the Parliament building and break down, and they'll be giving out the vaccine. That's all. No information. You think based
Ex-
on what I do, I gonna let this government stick a needle in my hand? I must be out of my mind. But
and
that is not to say that if you feel differently, you should not go. That is not to say
I
that.
and you know what, Sherrod? These vaccination sites, there is a ganging up there too at the vac because I
Oh
have
boy.
passed
Yeah.
vaccination sites and there's no social distancing at those vaccination sites. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
Well, after
Why?
all, people say we go and take the vaccine, so why we need to social distance? We can be immune. But the doctors were telling us last night, not because you take the vaccine, it means that is the end and you could never get
Exact,
COVID.
exactly. Persons need to understand it. It minimize your risk of becoming seriously ill. But then, Sherrod, how many doses do you have to take in order not to become seriously ill?
Yeah.
You understand me? So if you got a 3 doses, you get a vaccine, and you get a 3 doses, you still get COVID, yes, but you're not going
Yeah.
to be hospitalized. But that's not going to be the case again because you're giving me one vaccine here, one brand here, and then my
Correct.
second dose
Correct.
is another brand. It doesn't make
Correct.
sense. It's like you're still at square one. It does
Correct.
not make sense. Logically, it does not make sense. And the
Correct.
person, I'm not, I know Woodlands Hospital, um years ago it has been a number one hospital, but Sharad, I'm hearing and I had personal experiences, whereby they're doing a lot of slip ups. They're doing a lot
Yeah.
of slip ups, and I
Well,
don't know
Joy,
what is happening.
that is where Miss the woman allegedly said that she got the misdiagnosis. She ended up at the COVID center. The hack off she toe. Complication from that, they lash off her leg. You understand me? So there might be some veracity to that. I mean, Woodlands is a place that I like to go, but I have to
Yeah.
second guess myself. No, I've taken my children there to the pediatricians and all of that. It's one of the I like the staff there, but I don't
Yes,
like
yes,
you say what I'm hearing of late.
yes. And what is the medical council or the medical board is going to be doing about
No, no,
that?
no. You this everything here is friends and family now, Joy. Friends
They
and
should
family, medical council and board and all that. Why you
they
think this
should,
woman can't get justice yet? Why you think nobody didn't hear about Chief Foot and so on yet? You understand me? If you
the
got friends and
situation
family in
is
this
very
government, you
sad.
got bargain. It's very, very sad, Joy. It's very, very sad. That's why
It's
you got to
very,
walk in
very
the
sad.
corner. Don't go out unless you have to stay home, protect you and your family. Because even if you get COVID, you can't even say you can get the vaccine and you're gonna be well. You don't know. Look at this
You
woman.
don't
This
know.
woman was misdiagnosed. You understand me? And from being diagnosed with COVID, let's even say she had COVID and they wanted to keep her at this medical center. How she foot end up off? I don't know. I
Exactly,
do not know. A
exactly.
series of unfortunate events, and that's this whole government. A series of unfortunate events. Thanks very much,
Exactly,
Joy.
exactly. All right, bye bye.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Folks, it's 627-6963. Just WhatsApp. Yes, the 21st century. Don't SMS. WhatsApp. I'll send you the link quickly. You come on, make your contributions, and we go. Folks, I want to turn my attention to the fraudulent catfish install administration because you know why? There's a rift brewing between Jagdeo and Nandlall. Yep, yep. And we're going to tell you a little bit about that. The number is 627-6963. WhatsApp 627-6963. If I said before text, I'm sorry. When I said text, I mean WhatsApp. You understand me? 627-6963, and let's move things along. So Jagdeo is of the opinion that this gas to shore at Wales, this gas to shore project is a no-brainer. You can make money. It is a no-brainer. It's going to make money for this country. And Nandlall, from the credible reports we have received, sources close to them and who know the issue, say Nandlall is of the view that you need the studies. You need the studies. And Nandlall know from experience dealing with these jagabats what it entails. He understands because he's been in the belly of the beast, right? So Nandlall, who is more popular in the party anyway, wants studies because this is how forward-thinking people operate. They want studies to be done, right? That says to us that this is going to be a profitable enterprise. No. Jagdeo says a no-brainer. The same way they said Amila Falls was a no-brainer, it was going to make money. They grabbed Fip Motilal. He wasn't qualified even for shining somebody's shoe. The honey contract to build hydro project at Amila Falls and build roads. Still now, we're still waiting. You understand me? The same way the fiber optic cable was a no-brainer. They had it to Ramatar's son. $5 billion later, we didn't even see the plastic, the cable they come in. Much more to have the fiber optic cable. Skeldon was a no-brainer too. They plug hundreds of millions of US dollars into Skeldon, bankrupt the sugar industry. Skeldon never even produced a pound of sugar since they built it over. That was a no-brainer. And so Nandlall is asking for these studies to be done. What studies? Ladies and gentlemen, for these kinds of projects, you need geotechnical studies, we advise. You need geophysical studies, we advise. You need environmental studies to be done that says that this project is going to be a wholesome one. It's going to be a profitable one. Not so for these guys. Jagdeo want none of that. That is too time consuming. You understand me? His cronies got to make money. You understand? His cronies got to make money. And so he went out the long thing. Them studies can take 2-3 years. Money's got to make now. Right? Why you think Ramsamy was saying they want to shut down the economy and close down business for the lockdown to preserve lives? Money got to make. That is the mantra of the PPP. That is the only thing that matters. Money got to make. So to hell with geotechnical studies, to hell with geophysical studies, to hell with environmental studies. Right? He just know that this gas to shore project, like the Skeldon factory, is a money maker. Right? And there are serious, credible reports out there that suggest that solar energy has overtaken gas to shore and all this madness. Where is Fip Motilal with all the money that we give him for that project? Where's young Ramatar with all that money we give them for fiber optic cable? Right? Now they are CIS trying with the sugar factory, the packaging sugar now. They can import sugar soon to package. Because that's what we're turning to. They said they can open back the sugar estates. Why Wales not open back and producing sugar? They got to gas to shore. Why Wales and open back as yet? But they're trying to pull wool over people's eyes. And that is what we have seen. Right? The Skeldon Sugar Modernization Program, hundreds of millions of US dollars was spent. Right? We need to do an environmental impact assessment, an EIA, an environmental impact assessment for a project like that gas to shore project at Wales. And Jagdeo is a no-brainer. We need all of that, folks. We don't need all of that. You see why we are where we are in the pandemic? You see why we are where we are? Because they should have done some small study by now that tells us how this virus is moving locally. Right? They didn't care about all of that. They didn't care about all that. And because of their recklessness, we have what is happening. You know what the reports tell us quite recently? That there are now several hotspots. Right? When COVID should have been mitigated by now, after they come into government and you hand them 21 deaths, 474 confirmed cases. Now we have 278 deaths. Isn't that where we are? And we're pushing on 12,000 confirmed cases. They don't know what they're doing. And now they're telling us you have hotspots in Kitty, hotspots in Camberville, hotspots in Eccles, Horstelling, Diamond, on the East Bank, South Rumville, Lusignan, Good Hope, East Coast. That's the whole country's a hotspot. The whole damn country is a hotspot. That is what is happening. The whole country is a hotspot. Right? Folks, we're pushing on program time. I want to hear from a couple of you before we go, but that is where we are, and that is the rift that we have. Because Nandlall seems to be a reasonable man. Right? Sometimes he appears mad, right? Sometimes he appears a little crazy, but he has his moments of rationality. Jagdeo, on the other hand, full mad. And the PPP trenches on this string in the comment section will not want to admit that. And that is the tragedy of their supporters, right? Because they can see the Titanic going down and they're going down with it. And that is the PPP. The Titanic that's sinking. The Titanic that's sinking. 8 months in, and everybody tired of them. 8 months in, and everybody tired of them. COVID should be a no-brainer. COVID should be a no-brainer. Everybody understands when you got the kind of surge that we're having, you got a lockdown. When you're having the kind of surge that we are having, you got a lockdown. But of course, people got to make money, right? And he said it himself. The installed vice president. People gonna die. That's a norm. People are going to die. That is a norm. And I ain't going to allow you to put a needle in my hand. You out of your damn mind, right? But folks, my encouragement to you, if you feel differently, if you have more information and you've informed yourself, then I say go right ahead. The choice is yours. The option is yours. I would never tell you not to go and take the COVID vaccine. You go if that is what you want, right? And that is why we say don't only listen to what we say, but apprise yourself of all of the information. All of the information. And that is what we hope to do here. Give you enough information that allows you to make sound decisions. To make sound decisions. I hear all kinds of things on a daily basis. People inbox me, WhatsApp, all kinds of things. All kinds of conspiracy theory. But unless I have done some research for myself, and the team have done some research, and they're able to say, well, this is fairly credible, right? Or reasonably credible according to CARICOM and the election report. This is reasonably credible. Then I am not coming out and say certain things in public because I don't want to misinform you. I don't want to misinform you. And just yesterday, Mr. Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, was talking about misinformation in the midst of COVID. Belinda, welcome.
Thank you, Sherrod. How are you doing? Wonderful
I am
program.
great. I am great. Thanks for coming in the ring. Talk to us.
Thank you so much. I just got in and I was listening to your last guest and she's talking about the vaccination that is being done. Now, I have my reservations because with the way things are being done in Guyana, I would not recommend taking those vaccines coming from China or Russia
Mhm, mhm,
because of the efficacy of those countries. I would
mhm,
recommend, I don't know how it's going to be done, but the vaccines coming from the US. The reason
mhm.
why I'm saying that.
The China vaccine, the
Mm.
Sinovac, has a 50%, from the information I have in front of me, efficacy. 50%. So you're half and half.
50%.
Yeah.
Well, I think the misinformation that is being peddled. Remember, and this is what I try to educate my family as much.
Mhm.
None of the vaccines will prevent you, or there is no cure for this disease. Those vaccines, and I think if it's not last night, you had the night before, you had those three doctors.
Last night, just
Last
last evening. Yeah.
Correct. Now, it's so wonderful to see that you guys are stepping up.
Yeah.
There is no
Thank you.
cure.
Thank you, Belinda. Yeah.
You welcome. There's no cure for COVID. These vaccines will prevent you from being seriously ill. We
Mhm.
have to get that in the heads of Guyanese people. Will prevent you from getting severely ill, not to prevent you from getting COVID.
Mhm.
I would love if the install regime do lots of programs where you can educate the people. Please, it's not going to
Yeah.
prevent you from getting COVID. it will prevent you from ending up in the hospital or
Yeah.
being in a
Yeah.
position where you can't
Thankfully, because you
breathe.
might come out with 1 foot.
But I heard you mention that. You know where that you know what that come from? That came from blood clots.
Hmm.
Not only, well, I'm surprised to know that even I don't know which one of the vaccines she got, but it look as though the Russian or the China vaccine is doing the same thing.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
causing blood clots. I've know of friends. Well, let me first say I did had mine. I had the Johnson and Johnson. I had to because a member of my family got COVID, and it
Hmm.
so happened that we had scheduled. Everybody in the house had scheduled to get the vaccine because I have an elderly person in the home, so I had to do it. Now, I must admit, after that vaccine, I got it the Wednesday. The next day, this is the Johnson and Johnson.
Hmm.
I started to feel
And the
chills.
Johnson Johnson, they say have a 66% efficacy. I mean, this was
Correct,
January 2021.
correct. No, I was a little. I was ill,
Hmm.
but I don't know what was the symptoms, or is it the Johnson Johnson is supposed to make you feel that way? But I started to get chills. My like I still have like a cough, and like if it's a cold,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
smell, I can't taste. But
Yeah.
I'm happy that I got it
Yeah.
because there is no cure. We have to remember this. And if they said no, I now hearing that CVS is now telling the people who coming for the second dose that they have to come back in 6 months. We have to
Yeah.
remember there is no cure for COVID.
Correct.
There's
Correct.
no
Thanks
cure.
very much, Belinda.
Thank you. There's
Sorry to rush you. We're watching program time, and I
yes,
want to give James an opportunity to make a
yes,
contribution.
yes, sure. Thank you so much, and I think you have
Thanks
a
very much,
little.
Belinda.
Hi, Sherrod. Good night, and good night to all listeners in radio or Facebook land. I wish to once again thank you for the good work you've been doing. Um, I think probably by the end of this stint, either you're in the ring would probably be one of the bona fide journalistic medium that they have in Guyana. However, let me quickly get to
Thanks for your kind thoughts, James.
yeah, let me quickly get to what I want to address and is in keeping with the topic that you have tonight. I wish to piggyback on one of the doctor's
We have Dr.
points that
Harris,
they made
Dr.
last.
Cummins, Dr. Rohan,
Rohan, yeah, Dr.
yeah,
Rohan's
Sumar,
Sumar citation
yeah.
that he made last night, where he identified that the amount of persons positively diagnosed up to program time with COVID was something like 180 something million, I think it was. We had
Hmm.
about 2.6 million people died from it. That's from January last year to April this year. And he went on to segment it looking at Guyana, Brazil,
Yeah.
and other countries in terms of percentage. But there's something that I need to bring out of what he said and what I understood is that you have out of the when you look at either the 180 something million or the 2 point something million dead, as indicated by information we have received, we have a very small population of people who have succumbed to that disease.
Hmm.
Um, are we circumventing or burying some information that is pertinent to our well-being in
I think
preference
I
to
think I think
this?
the numbers that are being published, James, are very conservative in terms of the confirmed cases. I think these numbers are being fiddled with. They're titivating with the numbers. They want to, they can't suppress all the figures, but it's not what this, it's worse. It's much worse than what they're telling us. And that is why
But
we see
here,
from tomorrow, they are starting to vaccinate from 18 upwards, age 18 upwards.
Yeah, but what I'm coming to get, what I'm trying to get on to get over to you folks is that even if we put the amount of persons confirmed with the case at 300 million or 400 million, the fact of the matter is that it makes our argument even worse when we look at the number that have died from it is still 2.6 million or 2.8. Let me put it at 3 million people globally. Okay, why are we not advocating other health interventions rather than this vaccine, which we have probably 90, close to 90% uncertainty as to what are some of the likely outcomes?
Mm-hmm.
More so that with these virus, you can only develop a vaccine after you identify a new strain.
Yeah.
So therefore,
Yeah.
we are going to continue be playing catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. And James, we got lots of work to do here. We got lots of work to do here. It's not just about vaccination. And all information that we have tells us that vaccination is a very small part. We have lots and lots of work. And, it's about time that the opposition gets a seat at the table in terms of the task force to be involved. We have lots of knowledge on our side that we can bring to bear to mitigate and eliminate COVID locally. James, I'm rushing you a little bit
That is
here.
okay. Yeah, that is okay. That is okay.
But I want to thank you very much for joining, James. You're one of our regulars, and I hope we hear from you again soon.
Yeah, man, you have a blessed one and continue to do the good work.
Thanks very much, James. Folks, James said, talked about our show and where we're going and all that. We tweak this show because we want you to get nothing but the best. Credible information, valid information, good information that helps you to make sound decisions. And this is about you. This program is what it is because you are who you are and you show up here. And we want to put our best foot forward in making sure that you get relevant, valid, good information, as we say, because here's where we defend the truth, we promote the facts, and we defend the truth, folks. And that is what we are about. As we close, guys, as we say every night, social distance, sanitize, wear your mask. You can be in groups of 10. That is what the regulations say. But even in groups of 10, you should be socially distanced. Churches, mosques, masjids, cafes, eating houses can sit at least 40% of their seating capacity. But again, socially distanced, wearing masks, all of the COVID protocols must be in place. Let's safeguard ourselves and our family. You don't want to end up in the morgue and next thing you know, the wrong family burying you. You want to end up at the COVID center, next thing you know, they're chopping off your foot. Folks, stay safe. And thanks for joining us. If it's Thursday, it is Talk Back Thursday, where we give you a chance to have your say. Whether you belong to the PPP, the PNC, the AFC, the Alliance for Change, like me, the TCI, wherever you belong to, or no party, no religion, we welcome you here to share your views. This program is about you. Monday to Friday, it is all about you. We want to thank you for joining and ask you guys to stay safe. Thanks for joining, folks. Stay safe. Stay safe.